have a healthy democracy, a critical component is that people can talk to one another about controversial issues. And what we found is that's not happening. It's not happening in classrooms, and it's not happening out in the general population.
What's the next one?
Deliberating civic issues, especially controversial public issues, is vital to democracies. Deliberation requires citizens and policymakers to weigh opposing views, find areas of agreement, and decide difficult questions. Given the current state of public discourse, we need to equip students with deliberative skills to prepare them for the roles they will play in democratic life. So one thing we can try to do is make deliberation happen in the classrooms.
In order to talk about controversial issues, it's not a natural thing that happens for people. You actually have to develop the skills in order to do that. So what we did is created a set of lessons that are supported by a methodology called Structured Academic Controversy that was developed by the Johnson brothers, professors at the University of Minnesota. We adapted that methodology and linked it to our lessons and put all of that online.
To do the deliberation, we're going to follow 10 steps.
During step 1, it's important that students develop a clear understanding of the rules for a successful deliberation, which can be downloaded from the Deliberating in a Democracy website at www.deliberating.org. Students should also be able to define deliberation and understand why deliberation is important in a democracy.
Don't expect to just be stuck on one opinion. You have to look at all of the opinions throughout the whole deliberation.
By deliberating, we're not debating, we're deliberating, and that's teaching us a new skill, something to go on, that's something new that we learned.
All of the materials needed to conduct a deliberation can be found on the website.
Okay guys, are you ready? We're going to go ahead and move to step 2, the reading. What I want you to do is highlight...
During step 2, students should take time to closely read the material. Students are encouraged to underline interesting points, summarize concepts in the margins of the paper, circle words or concepts they have questions about. The goal of this step is that students read and understand the material. Only then can they participate fully in the deliberation.
Now, what you're going to do is, with the people in your group, determine the most important facts or interesting ideas and write them below.
During step 3, students work together in groups of 4 to 5 to form a common understanding of the reading. The teacher checks for understanding and explains as needed.
Cyberbullying based on sexual orientation appears to be quite frequent and has been...
Step 4, introduce the deliberation question.
The deliberation question is introduced after students have formed a common understanding of the reading material. It's critical that students fully understand the deliberation question. Some of the deliberation questions are complicated, so the teacher must take time to ensure that all students understand the question, which will help the students remain focused throughout the deliberation.
We're going to move on to step 5. We're going to learn the reasons, but before we do that, you need to know if you're side A or side B. If you're side A, you're saying yes to this deliberation question. If you're side B, you're going to say no.
Students work with their team to gain a deeper understanding of one side of the issue by identifying the most compelling reasons from the reading and preparing to teach these reasons to the opposing team. They do not include their personal opinion or experiences at this time.
And I paraphrases, we all have the freedom of expression in all forms, but we also have a responsibility.
Okay, class, step 6. Let's present the most compelling reason. We're going to first start off with side A. Side B, guess what you're doing? You're going to listen carefully, and you're going to be writing down notes on the other side. So when side A speaks, side B, you're taking notes on the side A column. Their 3 most compelling reasons. Okay?
Each team explains the most compelling reasons they found in the reading. During step 6, students begin to understand the multiple perspectives and complexity of the issue by teaching these to other students.
Let's move on. Now side B, you present back to side A.
The Supreme Court said that the school can limit speech if it interrupts, school can limit students' free speech if it interrupts other students' ability to learn.
We're ready for step 7. You're going to teach back. This is the opportunity for side B to present back to side A what they've taught you. and then we're going to switch.
Questions that other students have.
In order for both teams to more fully understand the other side, students must select the most compelling reasons they heard and are encouraged to add to what they learned to strengthen the other argument. Students will know that they were heard and understood and now have a better understanding of both sides.
We get to move on to step 8 and deliberate the question. Now, this is your opportunity to speak from your heart and your mind. It doesn't matter if you're from side A or side B.
In their small groups, students should come to a personal, reasoned decision supported by evidence to the deliberation question. Each small group needs to find areas of agreement. The small groups do not need to agree on the question, just on something, perhaps a new or modified policy or a need for more information or research.
I'm on your side, so that's why I'm like...
We're going to go ahead and complete step 9. We're going to debrief, and I have a few questions for you. Okay, first question.
The debrief or lesson summary is important so the whole group can benefit from the small group discussions. Students in the minority in their small groups can hear that others in the class came to similar decisions. The debrief should highlight agreements, disagreements, values in conflict, and additional questions. The debrief should help students connect the activity to principles of democracy.
How does this tie back to what we're learning in our class?
It relates with the Constitution as well as the amendments, right? And the Bill of Rights.
Do you mean the school district, the state government, the federal government?
Yes, what I meant by government is like, I don't know, there should be like some way the government can help the school district to enforce a policy that would protect the students.
We're step 10, polls. Let me ask this. How many of you would say yes, that our democracy should allow schools to punish students for off-campus cyberbullying?
The poll and reflection provide ways for students to see where others stand and has proven a good way to interest others in talking about the question. Both steps 9 and 10 provide the teacher a way to see if students gained a deeper understanding of the content and the process. There is also a poll on the DID website where students can vote and see how others voted. The poll can be used as a discussion starter for the next class that deliberates this issue as well.
What I'm going to do is go ahead and lay out the numbers 1 through 5 on the middle of the classroom. I want you guys to physically get up and stand on a number. Should our democracy allow schools to punish students for off-campus cyberbullying? If you're a yes, you're going to stand on the other end where 5 is. If you're a no, stand at 1. And if you're sort of not sure, maybe a 3. Now what I need you to do is turn to the person next to you and explain to them why you're standing at where you're standing.
I think our school should punish because it has to start somewhere.
And I think there's still so many issues that you and I have not addressed, but this is the beginning, right? You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you.